So our colleague in the media industry allow us to guide you in this weekly press briefing. Next week, November 27, Thursday, we will focus on the Pope's arrival, transportation, accommodations, and security. Take note. Next week, our topic would be on the Pope's arrival, transportation, accommodation, and security. Our panelist next week would be the Most Reverend Bishop Roberto Santos of the Bishop of Balanga, Bishop Ray Evangelista of the Diocese of Imus, and of course, Bishop Jess Mercado from the Diocese of Parañaque. We will give you the details of these areas of concern and our panelists for our weekly press briefing. On December 4, Thursday, the topic would be the Malacanang courtesy call. And we will have Bishop Romulo Valles from the Archdiocese of Davao to be our main panelist. On December 11, our activity to focus would be the Mass for the clergy and religious in the Manila Cathedral. Our panelist would involve Bishop Julius Tonel, the Bishop of Ipil. December 18, Thursday, the activity that we will focus would be the meeting of the Holy Father with the families at the Mall of Asia Arena. We will have with us the Bishop in charge of the Episcopal Commission of Family and Life, Bishop Gabi Reyes, and of course, the priest in charge of the activity in MOA Arena, Monsignor Esteban Lo. For December 22, Monday, our press briefing will focus on the Leyte activity of the Holy Father. And hopefully, we will have with us here Archbishop John Du of Palo Archdiocese. December 29, Monday, the focus of our briefing would be on the meeting of the Holy Father with the youths and other religious denominations at the University of Santo Tomas. We will have the representative from the youth sector of the church, together with the rector of UST, Father Herminio Dagohoy, OP. And the last, January 5, Monday, the focus of our media briefing would be the final activity of the Holy Father at the Luneta Mass for the general public. We will have Bishop Julius Tonel of the Bishop of Ipil, and of course Bishop Virgilio David, the Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Pampanga. We will give you the details once more of this press briefing weekly prior to the papal visit January 15 to 19. Thank you.
Incidentally, for December 4, we'll try to get the spokesperson of Malacanang for the papal visit to be included in the roster of panelists. Now we'll call on Father Marvin Mejia for his opening remarks before you ask your questions.
First of all, thank you for coming over for this first press briefing. I am here on behalf of the President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, Archbishop Sok Villegas. And perhaps I can answer some of your questions concerning the general preparation of the papal event or visit. So once again, thank you, and I give the microphone to...
Now we'll also have an overview from Mr. Edwin Lopez. He is the one in charge of Asia Pacific of EWTN, the Eternal Word Television Network.
Thank you very much, Father Francis. Again, good morning. Thank you for joining us in today's press conference. As we focus on the coverage of events and activities during the papal visit, equally important is the value and meaning of this visit. And I think this is something we should not miss, because the Pope will bring something very special to the Filipino people. And we hope we can invite everyone to focus on what he will bring. And as what Father Anton said, the Pope will bring healing presence. Ang dala niya ay nakakaginhawang pasensya na magbibigay galak at pag-asa. Hindi lang sa mga nabiktima ng kalamidad, kundi biktima ng kahirapan. Father.
Okay. Now we are open for your questions. And as we told you, this first meeting or briefing will look at an overview of the whole visit. Anybody? Okay, if not, I will ask the first question to the panelists. Father Marvin, what is the overall reason why the Pope is coming?
Perhaps this is already known by everyone that the Holy Father comes or visits us primarily to visit the people who were affected and devastated by the Typhoon Haiyan. It was his intention really to visit Tacloban and Palo and these areas. And of course, he would he would be bringing in the message of mercy and compassion. And that is because of the context of this visit. And his healing presence, as mentioned already by the two panelists. So the Holy Father, it has been part of the life, so to speak, or the ministry of the modern popes to visit countries. This started after, especially the Second Vatican Council. And the first, we would say, like a world pope or universal pope, somebody who that visited countries, was Pope Paul VI. And we all know John Paul II was a traveler. And now Benedict XVI, and like now Pope Francis. So it's part of the life and ministry of the Holy Father, being the universal head of the Catholic Church, to visit nations and countries. And this visit, of course, is known as the apostolic visit, meaning a visit of the Holy Father being the head of the Catholic Church, so a particular nation. But at the same time, it's a papal, a state visit, in the sense that the Pope is also the head of state, and the state is Vatican City. In 1927, the government of Italy, this was during the time of Benito Mussolini, recognized or gave a portion of Rome, the city of Rome, the Vatican Hill, to the Holy See, and recognized it as a separate city-state from Rome, from Italy. And that's why the visit of the Holy Father is a state and apostolic visit.
Yes. First and then.
Sir, doon po sa overview nyo, parang meron kayong nakalimutan na tingin ko mas importante. Merong meeting si Pope with different religions, di ba? Can you expound on this?
January 18 in the morning, there's the meeting of the Pope with the leaders of religions, different religions in our country. And one of the, let's say, one of the things close to the heart of the Holy Father, Pope Francis, are the different religions, different faiths. And And that interreligious dialogue is an important dimension of his papacy. Even before he became Pope, he was already engaging in interreligious dialogue with other religions and denominations. So it's part of his visit, of the schedule of his visit. This is before the meeting with the youth. If you notice, you must have read already the program, and the Pope will be meeting with the different groups. Of course, the poor, the young, the families, and the leaders of the different faiths. So this will be in the morning of January 18.
Just in addition, doon po sa ating press briefing, we will discuss more of that on December 29, Monday. Ito po yung ating briefing on the meeting of the youth and religious denominations of the Holy Father at UST. No? So yung pong ating press briefing, we will in detail talk about, yung ating weekly briefing, we will detail the activity of the Pope in every particular occasion. Okay.
Glenn Wego of DCWB. Father, sa pangkalahatan, gaano na po yung preparasyon ninyo? Ilang porsyento na ready, kumbaga? Ilan na po yung natatapos in terms of construction or renovation, sir?
Since July, after the official announcement, meetings have been held, no, in preparation for the Pope's visit. There is, if we go into the structure, there is the organizing committee, and the organizing committee is constituted with the church and government leaders. So on the church side, Cardinal Tagle, Archbishop Sok, and the Apostolic Nuncio. Now, committees have been set up, and there's the steering committee, under which will be the events committee. The government is providing resources, okay? Or, as they say, courtesy is afforded to any state head that would visit our country. On the part of the church, we have been organizing different committees to address. As regards to the percentage, that would be very difficult to quantify. However, we are on time. We are on time in our preparation. We have a timeline set, and everything is in place. And of course, it's still an ongoing process. But all aspects of the visit, no, are being planned and looked into in partnership with the government. So, may preparasyon na.
Follow-up lang po. Will there be a chance na magsasama si Pope tsaka ang Pangulong Aquino? Kasi I believe, sir, may inaayos yung VIP room yata sa Quirino Grandstand, sir. Paano ba yun, sir?
Actually, it's on December 4, but you know, December 4, Thursday, about Malacanang.
Yeah, since it is a state visit, part of the state visit is the encounter between the head of state and the Pope.
Okay, yes.
Hi, Father. I'd like to ask about the funding. We're talking about preparation. So, I don't know who is the person to ask, but I just wanted to know, like, so if it's a state visit, there are things the government will fund, and the church, do you have like a rough estimate, like how have donations been? Have you yung fundraising? How has it been? How much or percentage has come in? And what is your expected expense for this overall expense that the church has to answer for?
The right person to answer that question is Archbishop Du, being the chairman of the Finance Committee, and Monsignor Clem Ignacio.
Meron pong in charge ng Finance Committee, sabi nga ni Father Marvin, si Archbishop Du and Monsignor Clem Ignacio of the Archdiocese of Manila. Yes, fundraising is being undertaken with some friends of this church, no, in order to raise the funds in the context of donations. No, we are not raising funds in the commercial point of view, but for those people who would like to help, no, individuals and institutions, the church is accepting donations. No, kaya mahalaga itong media, no, para maiparating din natin na ang simbahan po ay bukas na tumanggap ng donasyon sa mga individual, pamilya at institusyon para nga ma-defray ang expenses ng pagdating ng mahal na Papa. Pero mahalaga po ang panawagan ng Vatican, no, na ang pagdalaw na ito ay dapat hindi magastos. No, ayaw po ng Santo Papa na paggastusan ng malaki, no, ang kanyang pagdalaw, sapagkat ang mas nais niya, yung kung meron tayong may abuloy, ibigay natin sa mga biktima ng kalamidad. Yan ang primary purpose ng kanyang pagdalaw at nais po niya na anuman ang mga grasya na matanggap in terms of donations ay maibigay lalo-lalo na sa mga biktima ng kalamidad, lalo-lalo na ng ongoing rehabilitation ng Yolanda victims, survivors at ng earthquake survivors sa Bohol.
Yes, Jing.
Jing Castañeda, Sir, ABS-CBN. Sir, follow-up dun sa tanong, how much are you trying to raise? And secondly, baka hindi lang naman in cash, no? Baka in kind, like, I don't know, widescreens, etc. So maybe you'd like to make an appeal on, you know, what are the needs of the church?
I don't really know the exact amount needed, but that's true. We need like materials, like the LED screens. I think that's one of the expenses that the church would have, and with regards to like portalets and all these. Even the barriers, it's the government, no, that is trying to address this need, and there are many aspects of the papal visit that really need, like funding. But as I mentioned by Father Anton, that this should not be a fundraising event. The papal visit should not be a fundraising event. And on the part of the conference, bishops are donating from their own pockets, from their own personal account, not from the dioceses. So because there's no fundraising in the dioceses, but the bishops are donating. So the finance committee is coming up with the budget, and they know what are the needs, and the organizing committee is addressing it now.
Did the government offer any financial assistance?
No. It's very clear that the government would be providing services. And if you remember, one aspect of the papal visit that the government is really trying to focus on or zero in is the security of the Holy Father and the safety of the people. So great bulk of the government assets would be for that aspect of the papal visit.
Sir, follow-up. For those who would like to help out, sino pong kakausapin? Saan sila ko contact?
Sa Metro Manila, ang magandang mapuntahan natin ay si Monsignor Clem Ignacio. Siya ang rector ng Quiapo. At the same time, siya ang priest in charge of the Finance Committee. Together with the head, Archbishop John Du. Okay. Siguro mas maganda rin tingnan natin, no, tayong mga nasa media dito, mahalagang bigyan din natin diin, no, yung diwa ng mercy and compassion, no. Although may mga mahalaga din, gusto natin malaman kung ano yung paboritong pagkain ni Pope Francis. Ang balita ko, ang paborito daw ni Pope Francis ay baked skinless chicken, no. At mahilig siya sa red wine. O yan, at least meron kayong alam na on a personal note. Pero maganda na nais na ipahayag ng ating simbahan yung ang diwa ng mercy and compassion. Ano ba ang mercy and compassion? No? Sa Tagalog, ang tawag natin yan awa at pagmamalasakit. No? Ito ba ay nanggagaling sa isang superior-inferior relationship? No? Ang pagdalaw po ng mahal na Papa, hindi para mag-abuloy. No? Na kami ay hindi biktima at kayo ay biktima. No, hindi yan ang diwa ng mercy and compassion. Ang mercy and compassion po ay nakaugat sa tinatawag na solidarity. No? At sa buhay pananampalataya, malalim ang ibig sabihin ng solidarity. Ito po ay hindi relasyon ng superior sa inferior. Ito po ay relasyon ng parehong tao na pag sinabing ang sakit ng isang tao ay sakit ng lahat, no? Ang nadadama ng isang tao ay nadadama ng lahat. No, yung malalim na solidarity. Siguro sa Tagalog, ang ibig sabihin niyan pakikiisa, pakikidama, no? Kaya dadalaw si Pope Francis hindi dahil gusto niyang mag-abuloy, no? Gusto siya dadalaw sa mga biktima ng kalamidad upang ipadama sa kanila na we also suffer with your suffering, no? While you are victims of calamities, we also feel your suffering. No? Yung malalim na pakikidama at pakikiisa. Kaya mapapansin nyo, pagpunta ni Pope Francis dyan, kasama, dadalawin niya, kakausapin, yakapin, beblesan, at makikikain siya. No? Meron nga makikikain. No? Yung diwa ng solidarity. At ito ang magbibigay ng healing, no? Sa mga biktima ng kalamidad. Sa bawat individual, sa bawat relasyon, pati institusyon. Kasi alam natin, marami din na kailangan ihilom ng mga institusyon, no? Tulad ng mga epekto ng politika, no? Dito sa Tacloban, sa Leyte hanggang ngayon ay pinag-uusapan natin na nakakasira sa ongoing relief and rehabilitation program, no? Kaya yung dala ni Pope na mercy and compassion ay nakaugat sa diwa ng solidarity, no? We are in the same lot, no? When you suffer, we all suffer, no? That's why pinapadala natin yung healing grace of God, no? To heal our common suffering. As human being, we are all affected by suffering, no? Kahit siya ay nasa Rome, the Holy Father feels the suffering of the people in the Philippines because of solidarity, no? We are one human community. Sana mapalaganap natin yan, no? Sa media, no? Itong malalim na diwa ng espiritu ng mercy and compassion.
Tawagan ko lang si Mr. Edwin Lopez sa pananaw niya because he also belongs to the promotions and media relations on the role of media sa pre, during, and post-papal visit.
Yeah. Ako hindi po ako pare. No, hindi po. Itong tatlo po ay pare. Ako po ay laiko, ama at may pamilya. No? Ang tanong ko rin sa sarili ko, maaaring yun din ang katanungan nyo, what is the value and meaning of the Pope's visit? No? Ano ang kahalagahan nito? I think it is both an invitation and a challenge. No? Isang imbitasyon at hamon sa ating lahat ng mga Kristiyano na tumugon sa pangangailangan ng ating kapwa. Ito mabigat. Sa pamamagitan ng halimbawa, higit sa salita. And I think, ito ang inspiration ni Pope Francis dahil dito niya kinuha ang pangalan niya sa pangalan ni Saint Francis of Assisi na nagsabing, preach the gospel always and only when necessary, choose words. No? Kaya talagang gusto niyang makiisa. Hindi lang sa salita, kundi sa halimbawa, sa kanyang personal presence. Mapapansin nyo nung World Communications Day, anong ginamit niyang salita? Neighborliness. He is encouraging us to develop a greater sense of otherness. Meron pa siyang binanggit na we have to smell like sheep. No? Makihalubilo upang maging kaamoy ng tupa. No? We have seen in many occasions, niyakap niya ang isang lalaki na punong-puno ng tumor. Hinugasan niya ang paa ng isang babae na kasama doon sa washing of the feet. Ang isa doon ay Muslim pa. Merong isang bata na tumayo sa entablado habang nagsasalita siya, niyayakap siya, inupuan yung upuan niya, pero wala tayong nakitang yamot. No? Ito ang sana mabigyan diin. Hindi lang sa pagbisita niya, kundi pag-alis niya. na madala natin ito hindi lang sa ating pakikitungo sa kabataan, kundi pakikitungo rin sa mahihirap at pati na sa ating kapamilya.
I just also would like, yes.
Sir, tanong ko lang po, meron lang tayo nabalitaan na may nagbebenta ng ticket para sa Pope visit? Kasi may lumabas na balita kasi before.
Walang ticket na ibinibenta. Kahit anong event, no? Diyan.
Wala ding reservations. Wala
But
ding, wala.
again, to emphasize the theme of compassion and mercy, there are certain individuals that would be given an ID, especially during the Luneta Mass. Of course, the bishops, but only the people with disabilities and handicap, no, are given special entrance or ID for the Luneta Mass. And the Secretariat of the CBCP, we are trying to ask the 86 archdioceses and dioceses to send 5 from the local jurisdiction, 5, so that they're able, and to provide logistics for these people so that they can join the Luneta Mass. Those are the only individuals that would be given special like pass.
Umuusad po ba yung panukala na parang holiday na lang, suspendido mo na yung mga klase and pasok sa trabaho sa papal visit?
Well, during the press con, remember, the executive secretary said, we are talking about it, but we're considering it. No. Another point is, it's very clear that all the committees sa preparation has a church and a government counterpart. Kaya nagtutulungan. No? Kaya lang, nobody's dependent on one. So that's as far as we can say. So maganda naman yung development between the different committees and subcommittees. Any other questions?
Father, the only event that's open to the public is the Luneta Mass. Tama po ba yun? And then ano pong instructions natin sa publiko? Kasi marami na nagtatanong how can they have a chance to attend the activities of Pope Francis?
Well, technically, yung sa Tacloban, di ba, yung sa misa, parang kirino yon na mayroong enclosure, pero mayroong for people. Di ba? Sa kirino, di ba, ganon. Yung UST, enclosed din yun, pero pwede naman doon sa labas ulit, di ba? Doon sa cathedral, doon sa park, sa Plaza Roma, open din naman yon. Hindi naman lahat enclosed. Kasi laging cathedral, religious yun eh. Priests, bishops, nuns. So, yung labas nun, may mga LED naman doon, tsaka paglabas ng Papa, makikita rin.
Pansin nyo, merong particular sector na nais ng mahal na Papa na makaniig, no? Kasi he wants to address a particular sector. Perhaps in the future encounter with us, no, ma-explain namin sa inyo ano ba yung message. And importante yung the why of the event. Why is the Pope meeting the youth? Why is the Pope meeting the families? No? Why is the Pope meeting the victims? No? Mahalaga yung the why, hindi lang the what. No? Para ito yung, as media practitioners, ito yung mapalaganap natin sa ating mga kababayan. Lalo-lalo hindi makarating ng Metro Manila. No? Bakit ginagawa ng Holy Father yan? Kasi ito'y bahagi ng new evangelization ng ating simbahan. No? Kaya ina-address niya ang particular sector, from the youth, the family, the poor, no? And the victims of calamities. And of course, for all of us, sa Luneta.
Okay, wala na? Yes, some more.
Sir, ano po ba ang mensahe ng Papa maliban sa message ng Passion? Kasi nakapadalas po ata kanyang bisita sa Asia. Ano po ba meron sa Asia? Para simbahan Katoliko?
There are 2 countries that will be visited by the Holy Father in this January 2015. One is Sri Lanka, and the other, of course, the Philippines. In Sri Lanka, he's going to beatify a missionary, Blessed Joseph. And that's the highlight, the beatification. And also he's going to visit a Marian shrine before he would fly to the Philippines, would go to the Philippines. So those are basically the two main.
Sa Korea, no? Sa South Korea, no? I think it's still the condemnation of martyrs, di ba? Okay, condemnation of martyrs, pero din sa Sri Lanka. Pero very particular sa Pilipinas, no? Walang condemnation. Talagang mercy and compassion. Sana mapalabas natin yun, no? Talagang malalim na pakikiisa, pakikidama, no? Sa mga biktima ng kalamidad na naispadama ng ating mahal na Papa.
And we would surely discover, no, the message, the main core message of the Holy Father after his homilies and discourses. And from there, I presume we can have the main theme of his talks and his discourses.
Ilan po ba ang miyembro ng Katolikong Simbahan sa Asia? Ito ba yung lumalaganap para o bukonde para puntahan ni Pope Francis?
Sa Asia, alam naman natin, 3% ang Christian sa Asia. Kaya 97% are non-Christian. At sa 3% na Christian na yan, 50% daw nasa Pilipinas. 50% ng Christian nasa Pilipinas. No? Kaya tayo ang dominant Christian country in Asia. Kaya ang hamon talaga sa atin ng simbahan is more of missionary. Yan. Malaki. Nag-increase naman.
Mahirap sagutin yung porsyento, pero definitely lumalaki. Ang South Korea ang isa sa pinakamabilis ang paglago, no, ng Christianity. Sa huling data namin, sa buong Asia, ang Catholic faith, ang Catholic faithful represents about 56% of the total Catholics in the Asia-Pacific region. 56%. No? Ang sumusunod dito ay India, tapos pangatlo China, tapos Southeast Asia, tapos yun na yung mga Australia, New Zealand. Pero ang alam kong isang talagang lumalago is South Korea po.
Pero kung sa Pilipinas, na alam naman natin, 85% ng Pilipino ay Katoliko, gaano karami ba ang bata ipinapanganak sa Pilipinas taon-taon? Kung di ako nagkakamali, mga 2 million children are born in the Philippines every year. Kaya 85% nun ng 2 million, kung gusto mo ng statistics, Katoliko. Yan ang mga bagong Katoliko. Ayan.
Yes.
Ano po yung assurance ng itinerary na mag-stick po yun? Kasi I've been to Brazil for the World Youth Day. And based on my experience po, 25% lang po from the itinerary yung nasunod. I was a volunteer there po for the World Youth Day. So I would want to know po if the itinerary will be very strict po ba sa itinerary na masusunod po siya. Salamat po.
According to Cardinal Tagle, this Pope is a Pope of surprises. But from the government side, they say that even the surprises are being prepared for. But as regards to the itinerary, we have been meetings, like countless meetings already, and Vatican officials coming in. So let's just hope that they would follow the itinerary. And with the meetings and preparations, I think, and I presume that the general itinerary will be followed.
Pero alam natin, ano, sa Pilipinas, maraming sumulat sa Pope Francis, no, na dalawin sila. Unang-una dyan, sumulat ang mga bilanggo. Dalawin sila ng mahal na Papa. Pangalawa, dalawin ng Papa ang Jesuit community, no, sa Pilipinas, no, na nasa Metro Manila, no, Ateneo, meron ba sa PGH. Pangatlo, kung alam po natin, merong small Argentinian priest community sa isang parokya sa Caloocan, no? Na sumulat din sila kasi kababayan nila ang Santo Papa, na dalawin din sila, no? Kaya't 'yun ang ating mga pinananabigan, no? Kung magkakaroon ng surprises doon. At alam na naman natin, hindi na siguro tayo mas surprise, no? Yan. Okay.
Good morning, Father.
okay.
Nabanggit niyo po kanina, mahilig sa skinless chicken at saka sa red wine ng Pope. Magdadala po ba siya o magsasama siya ng sariling chef?
Alaman po naman ng lahat, no? Magaling magluto ang mga Pilipino, no? At meron na nga po akong kilala na talagang expert siya sa baked skinless chicken. Ano yan?
Meron na po ngayong naka-assign kung sino ang magluluto para sa Pope. Napakaswerte naman po. Nga po pala, ano po ba ang sasakyan ni Pope Francis? Bulletproof? Jeep? O ano po? Maglalakbay po siya, di ba? Ano po ang design? Pwede po bang magkaroon kami ng idea kung ano po yon?
Ang pag-alam ko po, dalawang sasakyan. May sasakyan sa Manila, may sasakyan sa Tacloban. At alam ko ang kulay puti.
Hindi po jeep ha. Siyempre po, last na lang po, everyone wants to get closer to the Pope. Eh kami po bang media na nagko-cover sa Catholic, siyempre sa simbahan, gustong-gusto rin po namin siyang makaharap sa katulad nito. Pwede po ba na magkaroon, meron po bang pagkakataon kaya na makasama namin o makaharap siya sa ganitong pagkakataon?
Ano ba yan? Request o tanong?
Pangarap po,
as far as
Father.
I know, pati nga ako, nasa media, hindi ako sigurado. Kasi meron tayong mga platforms. Kasi limited yung mga ID natin, ganyan-ganyan. So, siguro, mas maganda na lang kung hindi ka media, pumunta ka doon sa dadaanan niya, baka matsambahan ka niya, mahalikan ka pa niya, di ba? So, mag-wave ka ng flag. No, hindi. Walang nakaplano na he will meet the media. So far, no, hindi natin alam. Sabi niyo nga, may mga surprises. So, yun. Meron pa tayo? Huwag niyo ubusin kasi meron pa tayong every week. Pag-isipan niyo ngayon, ano tatanyo every week?